Hello, friends. There was a dog who refused to leave his owner's coffin. The dog waited patiently under the coffin for his owner to come back. The owner of this touching story is a woman named Carol Urban from Melbourne, Australia. She had a pet dog named Truffles. The dog was an unusual mix of a Jack Russell Terrier and a Chinese Crested. He was 13 years old and he had been with Carol since he was just a little puppy. The old dog had recently been ill, so Carol took him to the vet. Unfortunately, the vet could not save the dog's life. When Carol returned home without her beloved pet, she felt terrible, but there was nothing she could do to bring him back. She had to say goodbye to her furry friend forever. Carol put the dog's body in a box and took it to the vet clinic's crematorium. On the way, she stopped at her favorite cafe, which happened to be close to the vet. Carol ordered a cup of tea and sat down to wait for the cremation to begin. She couldn't bear to part with her dog, so she stayed with him until the last moment. When the staff arrived with the box, Carol gave them the animal's name and they placed it in the appropriate container. However, when the workers opened the lid, they saw that the dog was not inside. At first, Carol thought that the dog must have slipped out of the box while she wasn't paying attention. She looked around frantically, but there was no sign of the animal anywhere. It turned out that during the time Carol spent at the cafe, the dog managed to escape from the box and hid under a car. It was too late to cancel the cremation, so the employees of the veterinary clinic decided to take the box without the dog to the crematorium. At that moment, one of the staff members noticed something strange. A small furry ball was sticking out from under the lid of the box. They lifted it up and realized that it was a dog. But it wasn't just any dog. It was the same dog that had escaped from the box. The dog had clearly wanted to be cremated together with his owner. It took all of their strength to pry the animal away from the coffin. Eventually, they managed to do so and took the dog out from under the coffin. At that point, Carol started screaming. Her voice echoed through the room. After the dog was taken away, Carol finally got a chance to look inside the box. To her surprise, the dog's body was not there. The most touching thing was that right before cremation, the dog managed to crawl out of the box and hide under the lid. The employees of the clinic were deeply moved by the dog's devotion to his owner. For them, it was clear that the dog's actions were driven by pure love and loyalty. The staff made sure to handle both the box and the dog with the utmost care. When the dog's remains were placed in the urn, Carol held it in her hands and said goodbye to her beloved pet. Despite the pain of losing her best friend, Carol was comforted by the fact that the dog had died happy, knowing that he would spend eternity with his owner. The woman still misses her dog very much, but she knows that he is in a better place now. When she looks at the urn with his remains, she remembers all the happy moments they spent together. The story of this amazing dog touched the hearts of many people around the world. All of them were amazed by the loyalty and devotion the dog felt towards his owner. Even after death, the dog wanted to be with her, which shows how strong their bond was. So remember, our four-legged friends are capable of experiencing deep emotions and love just like humans. And sometimes it is precisely their unconditional love that helps us to survive difficult moments in our lives. Friends, what do you think about this story? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments, and that's all for today. See you soon. Bye.